Hello, hello, hello. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the weekly Steelchair. How are we all? Roisin, Zodiac, Larkbark, it's good to see you all. We have some memes for moments, but we need to determine this. Will it be this one? Nah, this one? Nah. That'll do. You're very welcome. Wow. Thank you, Roisin. That means a lot. I try to give good streams for everybody in different ways. Well, that was fun. And we certainly have our stream today, don't we? So, suppose we should always just do the opening rounds, the important questions. Everyone, make sure you like, share, and subscribe, of course. But I suppose the most important thing is how are you all doing on a non-political side? Well, actually, on the political side right now, actually, is probably the more important question. Because it's certainly a political shithole right now, isn't it? Don't worry, whatever you believe politically will not be called out. I just want to know how you guys are because of what's going on because of politics right now. So to quote a famous man, basically, This is what I want you guys to do for me.
I am L.A. Knight. Yeah. Let me talk to you. One of those.
I ain't gonna lie, even I'm in a dead certain confusion right now. Because this all ties in. It all ties in to this show. Because politics, effectively, could jeopardize what we've got. Politics could force and change the hands of things that matter. Now, I'm expecting everybody that's one way to describe a zodiac. Certainly, the way things are going on, it doesn't help which countries are involved. But no one's going to be brought down for it. I can assure you that. Because that's not what this is. But politics could actually disrupt the enjoyment of wrestling for a little while, particularly this weekend. Because who knows? We could effectively see a change. I, for one, hope that we'll see some improvements. But I'm very concerned. In the meantime, let me see what news we have. Let's see what we got. Okay, straight off the bat, it looks like AEW's Women's Tag Teams Championships are going to be introduced very soon. Okay, that's good news. Like that is very good news. Ooh. Cody Rhodes 35 minutes ago at Fanatics Fan Fest. Cody Rhodes says that we are at the tail end of his run as a babyface. Very intriguing. I ain't gonna be able to afford tickets to go to America, go to a show, and afford a holiday and come back. Too expensive. I'll be watching though. Depends on what you mean by fail. And fail in which way? Other big news, obviously, coming out for wrestling in 2028. Mick Foley will walk away from wrestling for good. Well, I'm really trying. I wish. TNA won't get TNA won't get buried at Slammiversary, but there are chances they could make a mistake at Slammiversary. Let's have a look at this card. I mean, I'm not going to watch it, but you guys can go with it. So, Night of Champions, Cena versus Punk, undisputed title. Jacob versus Solo, far too early for the US title. The King and Queen of the Ring finals. Rhea Ripley versus Raquel in a street fight. That's going to suck. And Sami Zayn versus Karrion Kross. And the Pepsi Max will be sponsored by Slim Jim. Glenn, you come in with so many great references for me, and you definitely do not fail. Yo, Maria, what's cooking, pal? R-Truth will not win the WWE title. I'm telling you now. So on SmackDown July 11th, there's going to be a guest appearance of Jelly Roll. Okay, that's weird. Well, I'm telling you now, it's not happening. Ludwig Kaiser back on TV like anyone cares. What else have we got? According to Fightful, we'll see what actually happens, but they're saying the Saudi Arabian government is expecting SmackDown and Night of Champions to proceed this week as of now. Yeah, we'll see. Get the people at Qatar first and it'll work. Sting's last match is just where he chose to do it. WWE fucked him off. Look what WWE did to him. Why on earth would he want his last match to be with them? TNA, he had a great last run. He chose to leave. And had a good couple of years doing it. I've got no issue with his final run. Have we got any other news? What's up, Catherine? Oh yeah, Sting was 100% right. Canelo Alvarez says we will see him in WWE at some point. I'm not surprised. You know Kevin Owens is absolutely insane when he thinks that El Grande Americano is Elijah. Just doesn't make any sense. What other news is there? Any other relative news here? I mean, Kota Ibushi is news, but that's about it. Oh yeah, Crawford will knock the fuck out of him. Don't worry. Some WWE behind the scenes talents are still stuck in Qatar, as far as I'm aware. It's not gone well. Pain. That's what it is. Smooth, you're not wrong. I'm just seeing if there's any other news of relevance. The only other bit of news here is Cody Rhodes saying that we're at the tail end of his babyface run, so it's almost as if I told you what's happening. No, 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 no. Go away. Go away. Trust me, Bury, it's not a fun thing for me. I'm just stuck with it. Let me respond to this Twitch chat. Please go away. I don't have time for these fucking bot accounts. They can bot their asses elsewhere. You missed 2015 Raw. I missed Raw 2000. No, I don't play League of Legends. You know, I'm not even wasting my time. Actually, I'm sacrificing a viewer. I don't care. Hold on. Potentially a silly one is fine with me, my friend. Hold on. Let me just... Potentially a silly one is fine with me, my friend. You're banned for life. Goodbye. I don't care. I'm not having these bot accounts anywhere near my fucking channel. I'm just getting rid of these clown bot Twitch accounts. Because she's banned. It's a bot account. Alright, Glenn, let's see. Potentially a silly one. Was Goldberg 100% responsible for that super kick? Should Bret Hart let Goldberg call the spot? Hitman was already concussed. You wouldn't be able to see Ava anyway because Ava's on Twitch. Well, was on Twitch. I banned the account now. Well, Goldberg's side of the story is Goldberg told Bret to watch for the kick. The problem is there was not enough space or time for Bret to physically watch for the kick, even though Bret does try. But 100% is still Goldberg's responsibility. He is flying that kick at Bret Hart's face. And yeah, Bret was already concussed, so how can Bret manage it? You know, like that's it just doesn't work for me. It seems to me like it's just like a cheap excuse for the way out. Like Bret physically can't defend himself on 2K. Personally, I think that match is going to absolutely suck. Everyone does, to be fair, Maria. But I've got a better one, Catherine. I've got one for you. And it goes like this. 8 words. Jey Uso. He absolutely fucking sucks. Nothing there. In terms of Goldberg, Gunther though, Goldberg is not coming into this fully fit. He's not even healthy. He keeps injuring himself in preparation for this match. So I wouldn't even take it on the limb. You know, like, I think it'll be a masterpiece in pain. It'll be a masterpiece of Goldberg getting in more pain, and I'm here for it. If Owen Hart was still alive, would you continue to hold what he did to Austin against him like the way you do with what he did to Brett by accident? No, I don't. And the reason being is what actually happened after Over the Edge. This is actually something that's not many people might actually know this, but Steve Austin actually regrets that situation about Owen's death to this day because he was never able to forgive Owen. He actually said in an interview that he wishes he never got. He wishes he got to speak to Stone Cold. Well, Stone Cold wishes he got to speak to Owen because he wanted to forgive him. He said in an interview, like, he regrets it still that he never had a chance to just squash the problem, which is sad, really. You behave. You behave. Goldberg will not lose. I am not watching Night of Champions, but I generally think Goldberg's going to win in 45 seconds. At least. Goldberg versus Finn Balor would be funny. Because we know that Finn Balor loves to get beat. You're only really getting a retirement tour out of Goldberg, though. You're just getting a bald head being mooned all over the States. Quite frankly, Goldberg should not be allowed a retirement tour anyway. It is. It is a Saturday night's main event, but it's not his last match. I think his last match is SummerSlam. I genuinely think it's his last match is SummerSlam. And I think we will see the Money in the Bank be cashed in at SummerSlam. It's a good thing that Nick Nemeth is doing better things right now. Although, to be fair, he does have a twerp of a brother, so. But he's still doing good things. He will return eventually, though. But I don't think he'll return as Dolph Ziggler. Oh, yeah, Karrion Kross is going to lose in 5 minutes. You think Cena's final opponent's going to be Roman Reigns? I think his final opponent's going to be someone totally different. Sami Zayn's more than just allergic to weightlifting. Sami Zayn is allergic to keeping his mouth shut and staying out of people's business. Sammy's not world championship material. Sorry, he's not. I think his final opponent will be Braun Breaker. Although, to be fair, it would be funny if they do a Baron Corbin to him and give him an absolute random that nobody wants, like Austin Theory for a rematch, which would be funny. But I think his last opponent should be Braun Breaker. Because he's going to turn babyface after SummerSlam. No, I do not. I don't see a world title on Sami Zayn. It will be Boston, Massachusetts will be his last event. Them homeless guys are watching, going, that guy needs to get a shave, a haircut, and hopefully some personality. It's not that Goldberg's a bad promo. Goldberg's a decent promo. The problem is nobody wants Goldberg in 2025. And his family should be ashamed for letting him go back out there when he's clearly not viable and safe to compete. That was the last time he was funny. I'm not sure if they're going to unify the. I don't think they're going to unify the titles. But I do have a funny thing they should do. I'm expecting them to have two single champions. But I think reality should just be the world championship. I'll catch you on playback. My uncle passed away last night and I have to head over to my aunt's house. Oh, Catherine, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Commiserations and thoughts and prayers to you and your family. I'm so sorry. Guys, can we get a rest in peace in the chat? Jey Uso, he should be a curtain jerker. You got to do a tier list of ranking Goldberg's match after 2016. All shite. But I'm starting to see a pattern with Raw right now. A strange pattern. And we've all kind of called out already. Because we're good on this channel. We do call out. Nah, he won't come back. Alright, who dropped the sub? I think he just gave up altogether with himself. I think he just gave up. And he doesn't know what he wants to do. No, they just signed him from other places. Sami Zayn regressed a long time ago, but people just mask it because of that stupid Sami Uso thing, which was a failure anyway. But this is the point, like they are just falling behind. He's another one. He doesn't take himself seriously. So why should I take him seriously? The Revolution gang is outnumbered by the faces all the time. Interesting. But yeah, I'm noticing a pattern when it comes to WWE now, particularly Monday Night Raw, because I haven't watched SmackDown in quite a while. This is the longest I've went without watching SmackDown in my entire life, which is the TLC episode. That was the last SmackDown I watched. I haven't watched a single SmackDown since then, which for me is crazy because the amount of what wrestling I watch is unreal. But here's my pattern that I've found. WWE are stuck between pillars. And not pillars of, oh, it's their talent, it's their promotion. But they're stuck between directions. Do we go more down? We're going to keep bleeding our fans dry of their money, or do we start investing in good talent, good product? We develop good stories and give you good wrestling matches, and they are clashing heads now. You can physically see the clash because on one side you've got all the money, which is your Triple H, Nick Khan, Cena. You can effectively say Goldberg. And to be fair, because they clearly don't care about good product, you can include the Judgment Day in that, and the Bloodline, and whatever crappy version they've got now. And then on one side, you've got trying to develop good wrestling, good booking, good product, and you can see it in the likes of the Street Profits. You can see it in Karrion Kross. You can see it with Chad Gable, the Creed brothers. You can see it with Roxanne Perez, Stephanie Vaquer, Julia, etc., etc., AJ Styles. And they're clashing now. But there's always one problem. Fans are blind to the situation. And until they open their eyes, they will not resolve the problem. And we already called out last time we were live. I said it. You mean nothing if you're an internet fan. Because they've said it. We don't mean anything. So in that case, we should be actively pressuring them more to do better. You never learn, you fail. And that is the reality. Why do I feel like Cody and Seth are cooking something and Cody's going to turn heel soon and Cena will be the one to do it? Because Cody is about to turn heel. Cena will turn babyface after SummerSlam, but Cody Rhodes is literally about to turn heel. They're going to try the shock factor. Just don't fall for it. And yes, he is. That's why he still looks like a angry Jehovah's Witness. What was it about that TLC SmackDown that made you say, I quit? Weirdly enough, it was the online fans saying it was the greatest TLC match of all time. That was like, nah, that was it. I was like, nah, I'm done. Those words just pissed me off. I was like, nah, I'm off. They could, but even he isn't paying attention right now. That's why he's not there. I think you might get one last match between them, but I don't see where they'll do it. Sad though. Money, 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 money. Wahahaha. Everyone's got a price. Everyone's gotta pay. But me, absolutely. Although the fact that you mentioned Brie Bella just makes me feel scared. She can keep her ass away from pro wrestling. But yeah, that's my observation about WWE right now. So I'll turn the music off for that, but that is my observation. So what do you guys think about that? Feel free to disagree with me. I'm okay with that. But what do you guys think? Don't worry, we'll get into the main review very, very shortly. But one thing is for sure, I really need a drink. So it wasn't a question, but let me just let me just rewind it, and I'll on the stream on this monitor, and I'll tell you when to rewind it. 2 seconds. All right, smooth. I want you to rewind 6 minutes and 20 seconds ago. So rewind about 6 minutes 20 seconds, and then listen until. So rewind 6 minutes 20, and then go up until I bring up Arnav's comment on stream about Cody and Seth. So from 6 minutes 20 ago to when I bring that comment up, and then let me know what you think. In the meantime, I'm gonna do something crazy. A near finished bottle of Oasis. One full can of Red Bull. It's not so bad. You took my name correctly. You've lost me. I'm just waiting for Zodiac. Just see. I'm just waiting for Smooth. Sorry, just see what he thinks. Because Smooth can be very debatable with me, which I do kind of like. Smooth will probably say shitload and be like, nah, 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 nah. I mean, to be fair, that's not all I can do. I can do a lot more. Bob, but my name's Billy. It doesn't matter what your name is. That, to be fair, that is a top tier Rock promo. Although, to be fair, nothing is better. Although that promo was great, nothing is genuinely better than all the major stars are out here. You've got The Rock, Buster Rhymes, and Doctor Evil himself. Ooh, I mean, shouldn't that not be for you guys to decide, not me? So let's see. Wait, when have I done an impersonation of Kamala? Alright, let's see. So, what's your best wrestler impersonation? So, A. Yeah, because the Macho Man here to play Get My Slim Jim. So, there's one. Hogan. Hogan. Brother. Because I book everyone and lose myself, brother. Ric Flair, I mean, it's just simply woohoo. Not too much fun, but the Rock one, probably, yeah. Kamala's just this. This is a loaded topic, but I agree about pressuring them. I'm starting to even post on W's community section while everyone is in licking. Oh, honest to God, they're a bunch of fucking morons, aren't they? The community section they've got are just filled with brainless wonders. Those are the people that are going to make sure Dowdy does nothing. We'll get together, have a hell of a. Oh, let's do it together. Have a hell of a match together. I'm going to drop the big leg for the 1, 2, 3, brother. Brother. To be fair, I do a good impression of John Cena as well.
Ow!
Shut up! Most of them are just trying to get themselves over. Like some dudes are acting like they're. Oh, don't even get me started. Hogan tells people around him to go find the guy he's wrestling and deliver that message. What a doofus. True. I've got a good impression of Cena, and it goes like this. Mission accomplished. Ric Flair, high flying, limo riding, jet flying, styling, profiling, kid stealing, wheeling dealing, son of a gun. I'm going to say something I truly believe is true. Jay Lethal and Kurt Angle do the woo better than Ric Flair. About the topic, since I'm on the fans, it's their fault too. I'm talking more about the ones in the arena. Smarts have always chosen their favourites how they feel. That's true. They do dip in and out a lot. But here's the problem, and this is what stems my issue. The ones in the arenas as well, I don't even think they follow the product properly. Just as bad as a online fan, I just feel like the way they act isn't helpful. And they've already kind of exposed themselves. They will sing this like the shitty song for the heels, and then immediately go back to booing them. Like they're fickle. SmackDown's been cooking now. Cooking what though? Cooking steak or cooking shite? Fundamental questions must be answered. Because let's be real, SmackDown hasn't been good in a long time. That's pretty much why I stopped watching it. According to you, which is your favorite Royal Rumble? 97 and 2001. But I love 1992. Those are my three favorite Royal Rumbles. 97, 01, 92. I haven't seen a Royal Rumble better than those three, start to finish. The closest is actually 98. 07 is another. Anything else? Nah. Oh, I'm basing it on purely on the matches, but the events were great, Zodiac. But the matches, crazy. Crazy good. I feel like the Royal Rumble's losing its steam. Mhm. No, of course, absolutely. I think that's a fair way to put it. They're all, in general, they all have their moments. They should cook one AJ Styles versus Cena match for his farewell tour. You can try and cook it. There's just one problem. That's why WWE is confused in which direction to go in. That's just a few thousand people. The IWC is flawed, but there's millions of us. They should listen to the IWC to an extent. Yeah, they should. Because without the IWC, you don't get your traction. You can have an attraction, but you need the IWC for traction. And without us, you ain't getting it. Too bad there's a lot of those accounts out there that are just dumb as fuck. Like it's not hard to book a wrestling show. We've already spoken about this recently. Like we spoke about this recently, like how easy it is to book a wrestling show. There's one company that's actively trying to do new things at the minute and be brave with their booking. WWE are playing it safe. Playing it safe doesn't get you ahead. It keeps you in the same place. And I said it close to a year ago. If WWE continue along this path just to keep making money and regress their attention on the product itself, eventually people will wake up. I think it'd be easy to book a wrestling show, but it's hard to book a wrestling show over a long period of time successfully. Yeah, no, I agree. I agree. The US title, I still have all lost presence. The last time the US title was interesting was when Cena had it. Maybe. I think the problem is just they don't know what they're doing with these titles. Sometimes you got to trust yourselves. That's one thing about McMahon I liked. Sometimes he would be like, they'll learn to love it, and a lot of times he was right. It's true. Who do you think would be the next opponent of Cena? He might have right now. He has 16 days left. He's gonna have another match with Cody Rhodes. I'm expecting a Braun Breaker and a Drew McIntyre match. LA Knight might get another crack at him. Orton, I don't think so. He's done. CM Punk will be finished after Night of Champions. And that's it. And having good writers. I mean, for Cena, it doesn't bother me. I've never liked Cena. I can say that comfortably and peacefully. I've never liked Cena. I always thought he was, in the nicest way possible, a talentless twat. And also because he's a clown, yes. Now, I can respect longevity, but I don't like him. Never have. And the last time he had a good match was 2016. If you want me to be super generous, I'll let you guess. But I don't think you'll get there. Like, look how that regurgitation about Cross being trash in IWC lasted. A lot of dudes don't know what they're looking at. Majority of these idiots act like wrestlers book themselves. Some do, but you're right. The only thing that's wrong about bad booking is people believing in bad booking. Oh, here we go. The Cena Glaze Fest begins. If you have the opportunity to do a parody of a promo from 14 years ago, of course you're going to think it's great. Me, I just thought it was basic and expected. If you didn't think he was not going to do that promo once, then you're naive. Because I knew the minute they announced Punk was, well, I already knew Punk was going to be an opponent, but the minute they announced that Punk was the next direction, you knew that promo was coming. It seemed obvious. The whole direction is the way it's gone wrong. That's why this heel turn still hasn't worked. I think you like Orton, although he has gotten slow in the ring. I can categorically tell you that Randy Orton is not my favorite. My favorite wrestler retired years ago. If that helps. In fact, I'll be generous. My two favorite wrestlers of all time retired many years ago. My third favorite wrestler, however, is still competing. Punk's not turning heel. Not yet. Because they're turning Cody Rhodes first. What's up, Billy? Zodiac doing charitable work. I'm so disappointed. If you give them all the attention, they've already won. That's why I don't smooth. That's why I don't pay attention to them. Because they offer me nothing. I think he deserves the funny meme for getting it right. They'll screw him that bad that he'll wish that he had a new job. Yes. Cena's one of them. He is. The problem is that he's been held back. But then again, if you want to see how things go when you're in this channel, there's one leader, there's one boss, and then there's the bitch. And it goes like this. And then to make matters worse, if you have a really funny take, this is how we're going to react at first. And then after we see the terrible takes of someone like a JD from New York or the Frightful Crew or Eric Bischoff, because again, his takes are always shit, we react like this. And then, to save us all, we just have a very peaceful look into hell when we do this. Penta's more unique than most luchadors. He's very unique. The only difference, though, is elements would go. Eric's irrelevant in 2025, but he's trying to stay relevant. Think about that. But Penta's not like most luchadors. Now, Mr. Iguana's cool, but Mr. Iguana's already screwed. In the ring, he's more aggressive than most luchadors. He's more aggressive. Anything to do with Sami Zayn is like having a quick piss. It's not great. Vince Russo at least speaks the truth. Now, he's slightly annoying. In fact, I'll go one further. He's very annoying. But he actually said something the other day that's absolutely true. WWE right now is shit television, except he's too late in catching up. I've been saying it's been shit for months. I think Vince Russo is a fucking talentless twat anyway. He couldn't write for shit. He doesn't understand anything to do with wrestling. Like, I would book a last man standing match between him and Jim Cornette where both men just get hit in the face with shovels. And first man to get up on their feet wins, but then I would just bury Vince Russo alive. And I would bury all his shitty stuff with him. Yo, Aaron, what's happening, brother? Good to see you. Actually, you know what? I haven't checked your videos lately. Let's see how many subs you're on. I'll tell you what's happened to them, Arnav. WWE chose not to bloody bother with them because WWE just don't care. I've never once said that I don't follow Vince Russo on Twitter. He follows me on Twitter and Twitch. I've told this story before. Doesn't mean I like Vince Russo. I'm followed by John Cena. Do I like John Cena? Hell no. The difference is you glaze Roman Reigns like he's a donut, and you're putting the glazing all over it. Who is the king of bros? Russo, Ospreay, Riddle, DDP. Well, here's the thing. Ospreay and DDP are cool. Matt Riddle is a prick. Vince Russo is a bum. So it's between those two for the king of clown bros. Not a chance. Just because you love Jey Uso doesn't mean I'm going to do everything that he likes. Keep it on you, fella. He does. And it's really bad. Like, it's really bad. He got so over pushed that honestly, he nearly drove me to quitting. Luckily, there was other things that were there to stop me from doing it, but I absolutely hate him. Roman Reigns has got no. He's the worst member of that entire faction. And people can love that. I don't care. Let's see. How is the boss man getting on now? I'm just having a look. Aaron Loves Wrestling Podcast. 66 subscribers now. Fair play. Fair play. You're getting there, mate. You're doing well. You're still one ripped son of a bitch. Ripped but cool. Anti-smarts are smarts too. They don't understand. The funny thing is, right, and this is what you all need to understand, and this is why people make me laugh. You're all marks. The worst. Sorry, my dyslexic brain kicks in. I can't help myself. I mean, to be fair, I did say I would try my best to help you. Logan is more capable in the ring, but Jay's a better actor and has more to his character. The only thing Jay does better is stand out from the fact that he takes a lot of coke. There's nothing to him. I don't think either of them really care. If you had to put a gun to each one's head, they would say, no. Like, you can see the squealers. If you just done a reverse Joker on them, you would find out that both of them don't care. Why is Jay being pushed so badly? He's winning the Fatal 4-Way, then not having a match with Cody. He's being pushed harder than Big Don. It's because of that one bloody chant, and those idiotic fans are so obsessed. Of course. Still, the reality is, though, that in a way, we're all still technically marks. Just depends on what you graphic yourself to be. That's personal. Nah. Appreciate the question, but nah, I don't talk about what holds me back. Take Roman's dick out your mouth. And also, why are you saying my name?
Say his name and he appears. I believe in
Reece Russell.
I believe in
Reece Russell.
Cause they love him in Scotland and 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 Scotland. They say I believe in
Reece Russell.
I believe in
Reece Russell.
You Fletch. I admire that. That's not going to last long, brother. The funny thing is, you can try be a carrying cross guy, but we all know that you're bullshitting, brother. It's okay. We know that you're really ooh, nah, I'll leave it at that. Are you forgetting the interest of his Intercontinental title run? The difference is they just backed out on him. But how they've treated Nakamura is worse than anybody. Logan is still green and in ring and on the mic. People get fooled by his lines and his moves in ring, but I can tell the only thing that's lucky by him is his athleticism hides some of it. But he's dreadful. I don't see any appeal in that guy. None. Interesting. Lyra Valkyria ain't nothing compared to Becky Lynch. I mean, Becky Lynch is finished. So, is that really a good thing? I would rather be compared to Rainwater than Becky Lynch, to be honest. What's up, Robert? Yeah, he ain't gonna be back for long, though. Never said it was. Or wasn't. It's just you're missing the mark. Let me see. Randy Orton and Pornhub's biggest activist. I mean, they weren't bad. It's just, I think they were okay, but that was it. Becky Lynch looks better. Debatable. She's better on the mic by a smidge. She's better in ring. Becky Lynch is just a better woman than she is in general. I think people are letting memories about Becky cloud their judgment. Me, that's my personal opinion. Becky Lynch for me hasn't been considerably good in about 4 years, 5 years minimum. I think she's honestly been pushed so heavy because Nia Jax thought, well, we'll punch her in the puss a little bit. But I still don't see much in her. I think objectively she should have left 2 years ago. And that's not me saying she isn't worthy of it. I'm just saying I think she should have left a couple of years ago and that should have been the end of it. Who do you feel gives the best promos? I know you hate Cena, but gotta admit he's the best on the mic. He's not the best on the mic though. I'm gonna tell you who. The funny thing is, right, when I look at my all-time favorite promos, the likes of The Rock, Ric Flair, Dusty Rhodes, MJF for a while, Chris Jericho. I actually think the best person on the mic is somebody that doesn't get enough attention. Now, I have a hot take. And I'm going to come back to that Chris Jericho comment in a second because that's an insanely crazy take. I don't think Bret Hart was a great promo, but in '97, Bret's one of the best years for a promo in general. Shawn Michaels '98, great promo. But the crazy thing is, Steve Austin, Dude Love, well, to be fair, Dude Love promos were good, but Mick Foley in general. In terms of who's actually the best promo, it doesn't even have to be the best promo, just the best on the mic. I'm not the only person who has thought this before, but now I'm actually thinking about it so much in depth. I actually think now the conversation needs to be who is directly behind this man on the mic. I actually think that needs to be the question. Becky's the bitch, but she does know how to peg Seth. At least we'll agree on that. I actually think we're now on a conversation basis where who's behind Jim Ross when it comes to the mic? When Brett turned heel, it was like he had some good babyface promos, but the shackles were like truly lifted. Like Brian Pillman was something else. Like his promos were crazy good. Paul Heyman behind Jim Ross. Okay. I would still say Bobby Heenan. But I know that because funnily enough, I did hear him say about it. Because he was on over the Over the Ropes podcast. And I was listening to Paul Heyman. It was Paul Heyman that said this, and I've actually been thinking about it ever since. And I watched this about a couple of weeks ago. And I've just thought about it ever since. I was like, the way he actually sells something or tells something, you can't leave Jim Ross out of any conversation when it comes to the mic. You can't. It's not like you're saying, oh, there's great promos or there's not great promos. It doesn't matter what type of match it is or what type of story or even just an altercation or even an interview. No one was better than Jim Ross. No one. And that says a lot. So if you want to get your answer, there's your answer. Jim Cornette on commentary was good. Jim Cornette was very good on commentary. Jim Cornette is an excellent promo as well. He's a great interviewer. I always find Bobby Heenan is the greatest manager. Jim Cornette, something else. But Paul Heyman isn't a manager. At least not directly, which I respect. Remember, Paul Heyman has said it himself. Paul Heyman has said he is not a manager. He might look like one, but But he said himself he's not a manager. Scott Steiner's math promo is one of the best promos ever, 100%. Jim Cornette's not better than Jim Ross. Sorry. I think the problem is, and this is a bit unfortunate for Curtis Axel, they tried to push him so much like his dad and his granddad by using both names, and they really fucked it up. But I don't think he was ever going to be a top star. I don't think they really knew how you position him. Ryback he should have been sacked in 2010. He was given 5 years too much. 5 years too many. But yeah, now I'm not obviously subjective, but yeah. Oh yeah, 100%. Cornette has the gift of the gab. But I don't think he's better than Jim Ross. But what I will say though, those two together is pure magic. Jim Ross is, when you think of pro wrestling at its purest form, immediately you think of Jim Ross. Not saying, oh yeah, because you're forgetting all your favorites. No, but when you think of pro wrestling, pretty much all your best memories, he's involved. Michael Cole was having lines fed to him. If you look at Jim Ross, he barely had anything. Jim Ross was off the cuff. Jim Ross even said himself, they went into shows unprepared. Not in the sense of they didn't prepare, but they went in unprepared, so they didn't know what was coming. But Jim Ross is still the greatest commentator of all time. If it wasn't for him, none of our favourites would honestly be around. And that's a fact. Cornette was a great manager. But you've got to realise mic worker also means commentary as well. That's why Jim Ross is for me right up at the top. Because he wasn't just a great commentator, he was a great interviewer. What's special about Cornette though, and this is where Cornette has a little bit of a difference to Jim Ross. When Jim Ross gets himself sucked into something, like in its best way, when he gets sucked into a story that's being told on a Raw or Dynamite, or if he was on Heat or a pay-per-view, the occasional appearance on SmackDown, because again, he was only on SmackDown a handful of times. When you look at Jim Ross, like you knew something special was going to happen, you just didn't know where it was going to come from. Jim Cornette, on the other hand, he wasn't about making it special. He was about making it fiery. So it's not in the sense of, oh, he doesn't care. He does care. But Jim Ross puts passion and love of the business into it. Cornette puts fire of the business into his work. So you actually get the perfect blend. And I'll say this controversially. If Jim Cornette and Jim Ross were the main commentary team of the Attitude Era, it's even better. Like I've said it before. Like my favorite commentary team of the Attitude Era was like for most part I saw until it died was Heyman and Jim Ross, and I've said that one here before. But there were generally good times where Jim Cornette was on commentary with Jim Ross, and it was fucking incredible. Sadly, however, Jim Cornette had to work with that little pleb Michael Cole, and he deserved better. I would have quit. Oh, The Rock was brilliant for that. Yeah, I'm going to read your Jericho comment because you're so incorrect. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. You're so incorrect. But we're still going to come back to that. You want me to name you a Michael Cole line? Michael Cole only has one great line in his entire career. One. And I'll even give you the date of the show just to prove a point. January 4th, 1999. No, it was his commentary about Mick Foley when Foley pinned The Rock to win the title. Don't worry, I'll be kind. I'll even play it for you. Because I'll give him credit. Instead of me saying it, I'll be generous and I'll let him have it. So, stupid ad breaks. Here we go. Yeah, the one about Bulldog and The Rock, No Mercy, that was funny. This bit right here is the only good call Michael Cole's ever had in his entire career. That fucking little donkey nutsack that he is. And that is true. Oh yeah, JR has made some slip-ups. Tell me anyone in wrestling who hasn't. Oh, Cornette has flubbed a few times. I can assure you that. He done it twice on the same episode once. I have heard Jim Ross flub before. They've all done that. Although when it comes to flubbing, no one does it worse than fucking Michael Cole. Great question. And I'm going to effectively use the name of your account. See, wrestlers of today, it's like having bleach all over your eyes and having to watch them work. Your eyes are stinging because they're that bad. I value most of today's wrestling product like bleach. Doesn't always do the job, but if it goes wrong, it's gonna burn. So actually, I'm grateful that that is your account name because I'm going to use your account name as the perfect analogy for wrestlers these days. Problem for Cornette, and this is what you're going to fail to realize, and I'm just going to say this now. It may not look as obvious than Jim Ross, but bear in mind, Jim Ross also has had to overcome a lot with his, whereas Jim Cornette has nothing to overcome. So for Jim Ross to blub or make a mistake, there's a lot on him for that. Now that's not exactly a great thing to say, but it's also true. But yet he still puts passion involved. That's why those two are what makes wrestling. They are passion beyond words. And I'll say this: you can love the passion, but hate the person who that they are, like Cornette. Same way with Jim Ross. When they both die, wrestling's over. No, I disagree with that. Ross does not have a limited vocabulary. I disagree with that. What's up, James? How you doing, buddy? I mean, compare like Jey Uso, Dave Batista, or Edge to Cody Rhodes. They're clearly bigger. They're clearly more large in life and way more charismatic. Jey Uso wishes he had the star power of someone like a Batista. Like, I would rather have Batista now than Jey Uso at any point in his career. I would still rather have Edge than Cody Rhodes because I feel like they actually care about the business a lot more. Now, Cody Rhodes to an extent does care, but not like the way Edge does. Or an Adam Copeland if you want to go down the real name route. I think we're in a manic way of wrestling that we're not actually getting the talent we need. Now, let's have a look at this Jericho comment because, again, it was so damn wrong. And again, this is what makes me feel scared. This right here. I think you need to give Batista 05 to 08 a bit of credit, to be fair. He did look like a star, and he acted like one. He may not have gave you classic matches now and again, but he gave you some ones that are worth watching. You know what I mean? Like, he actually looked like you would believe in someone like him. I would rather have him than Cena all day long. But yeah, this comment right here. God almighty. Jesus Christ. I think Chris Jericho was upper mid-card, not main event. He could go in and out of the main event scene, but he wasn't treated as such. Oh, dear me. Okay. Batista was good. He wasn't great. I'll let you come at me 50-50 in that way. But I think Batista was good, but I won't say great. But yeah, this comment right here. William Regal with that world title would have looked perfect. Too bad he passed it up. But this right here. This right here is an example of why internet wrestling fans scare me. Zodiac, spot on, mate. But if you think he was not, he would not have been treated like such, then you clearly haven't watched. Oh, he is wrong, and I can tell you when. Now, initially, when he entered the main event scene, June 2000, terrible decision. He hadn't paid his dues yet. When he got into the main event scene truly in, let's see if I'm being, his first major event, his first proper major main event on a pay-per-view was 2001, King of the Ring, triple threat against Redacted and Stone Cold. He then gets a world title of main match at No Mercy 2001 and wins the big one, or the perceived big one. And he dips in and out. But when you really saw him get protected as a main eventer, was that incredible run between 2007 and 2010. That heel championship run between 2007 and 2010 was him being protected. And Jericho put over people because Jericho loves the business. Jericho was a main eventer who actually valued other talent. You know when Jericho returned in 2007 after a 2-year break, Jericho came back. You know that Jericho was booked to win the title against Randy Orton. Jericho was on his first pay-per-view event back. Jericho was offered the chance to beat Orton for the title, and he said no. He said no. Not because he just came back and he hadn't earned it, but he said no because he said, I have other things to do first. How much of a coincidence that his greatest feud when he returned, from that return period, his greatest feud was against the same person he had his greatest WrestleMania match with. You can honestly say Chris Jericho's greatest ever WrestleMania match is against Shawn Michaels, and his greatest WWE feud is Shawn Michaels in 2008. Because that was competing against the best feud in the company as well. Taker versus Edge in 2008 was WWE's best feud. Except Chris is more believable, more enjoyable, and a much, much bigger star than Miz. But I think in reality, the difference is, though, is there was times where they really did back out on him in the worst way, which I never understood. Like, I look at, say, 2003, 2004, where I actually find that's probably the only time watching him in WWE where I was really unsure about where he was going. Austin Theory should have been booked like Jericho at the least. In what way? I actually think I think Chris Jericho is the most selfless world champion since Brett. When it comes to putting people over, I generally think he's honestly up there. My favorite version of Jericho. So I've said it on here before quite a few times. So 98 WCW, 01, like that 01 run that he had, 2008 when he was dressed up like Nick Bockwinkel, and then Painmaker Jericho, and up to the first year of AEW. Brett didn't like losing to folk that he knew were never going to do the job for him. So like he hated particularly losing to Shawn Michaels in '97 pissed him off. But one thing that Brett did do though is obviously nobody realistically likes to lose, but he at least made the loss look interesting. You know what I mean? Jericho, on the other hand, doesn't care if he loses. Like Jericho doesn't care if he loses. He just wants to know that what he's gonna do next. Like if anything, Jericho's always thinking about the next step, which is what I like. Probably, but they were never going to allow that. They were never going to allow that. There was times when Jericho wasn't doing much, like when he returned in 2013 except the Punk match. Well, 2012 return, but yes. Here's the thing. They didn't know what they were doing with him. Lionheart Chris Jericho is one of the best you'll ever see in terms of a natural progression. But he did get wasted. And I'll say this, I actually think his run with Owens is overrated. I'll say that. I actually think his run with Owens is overrated. The only likable thing about it is the list of Jericho. But I don't think the whole run is actually quite good. And it's not because I don't think either of them worked well together. I think he's been given too many props for not enough to get out of it. I think if you put Sammy, the ultimate politician, in there, it would be a better run. And that's Zayn with Owens. I think Jericho with Owens, it didn't feel right. Even though it was still good, it was still good television. I'm not saying it's not good television, I'm saying it is. It's just for me, it didn't feel like it was going to be better. You know? That's what I take on it. And that's not a negative. That's just an alternative viewpoint. But Jericho was someone who I think he should have walked away a couple of years ago. I don't like the fact he did this learning tree gimmick that he stole from Brian Myers, which to be fair was crap anyway. I feel like this is an insult on his legacy. I'm glad that he's in good shape now. If Jericho comes back, I hope he comes back as the Painmaker. Or he comes back in that alternate character that I said a while ago where he does promos in the suits, wrestles as the Painmaker, like a split personality type thing. But I do not want to see him come back to that learning tree shit again. That's horrible. I also believe during Roman Reigns' title run, he should have defended the WWE title and the Universal title separately. Yeah, you could have, but the minute you unify the titles, that's it. It's just one championship, which is their own bloody fault because they were just protecting Roman as far as they can when he didn't deserve it. He was a bigger problem than people realizing. I didn't. I already saw it. Roman Reigns' reign as champion for me, meant nothing after that Royal Rumble match against Kevin Owens. The last man standing at the Royal Rumble 2021 was the last remnants of, you know what, this title run might actually be interesting, even though I can't stand the man. But then the referee stops the count, and I was like, yeah, nah, not interested. This can get to fuck. And I never took it seriously again after that, or even bothered. And after that, my vitriol hatred for the man grew because it was disgustingly crap. Now, anyway, we are 1 hour 47 minutes in, and we haven't even spoken about Raw. Could have done, but WB also didn't have a lot of stars too. They were busy kicking them off. Guy, please don't even try and do that. Please don't compare a world-class star. In fact, no, let me rephrase this. Please don't compare the Big Slow to a world-class star. Please don't. You're really going to hurt my soul. Oh, I know he's on the card. Don't worry, I know he's on the card. But yes, please do not compare the Big Slow to the world-class star Jericho, even by card positions, because when Jericho's on a card, you go looking for his matches. When Jericho's on a card, you go looking for his matches. When Big Slow's on a card, you don't go looking. You just turn the thing off. Oh, Bleach, come on, you're better than this. Don't praise Big Slow. Oh, I hate the Big Slow. He's so boring. I swear the Big Slow gives me brain pain. Just having to think about the only good matches he had, which was a long 20 years time ago, 22 years, 23 years. So long. The Big Show got every opportunity handed him to look good, and he didn't take it. Except it is a loss. I mean, obviously, Ailey won't like it, but it's true. WWE needs someone like Brock Lesnar right now. Brock Lesnar is the last natural great star they had. Big Show's only ever had, that I've seen, hand away from the heart. If I'm being truly honest, Big Show's only ever had 4 very good to great matches in WWE. 4 that I've seen in my entire lifetime. That's it. So I'll be generous and I'll be honest. He's only ever had 4. And they were all well over 20 years ago. Big Slow better on the mic than Batista? Debatable. Very, very debatable. Because all you're doing is... Some of his there were some good promos, to be fair. Some. It's just too bad he sucks. For me, I couldn't like this week. For me, when I stopped taking the Big Show serious, I stopped taking him seriously in 2003. I'll be specific. The last time I took the Big Show seriously was Judgment Day 2003. Who's better on the mic, Tiffany Stratton or Jillian Hall? Easy, Jillian Hall. Now you're over-exaggerating when you say great matches with Sheamus and Braun. They weren't great. Now Lesnar, he only had 2 great matches with Lesnar. 2. Survivor Series and Judgment Day. That's it. He has no great matches with Sheamus. And that match with Braun isn't great. You could say okay, and that's fine. Like, I will accept okay. But great? No. I think the stretcher match was fun. I think the ending made a lot of sense, but I thought it was fun. But their best match was their first match at Survivor Series. By far, that was better. They couldn't live up to it. Like, when you live up to certain matches, the Big Show could not live up to Survivor Series 2002. And he came close. Like, he did come close. And I'll tell you, the one time I felt he came close to that Survivor Series 2002 match was versus Taker No Way Out. That match with Taker No Way Out 2003 was the closest Big Show came to his best. That is my favourite Big Show match, Zodiac. That tag match at SummerSlam 99 is the best match I've ever seen him have. Which means fuck all. That's what I'm saying. If you really want to give big guys credit for their work, look at a Kane, look at a Vader. Like, I've even seen bigger guys that are slow that still do better work. Big John Studd. Like, it all comes down to perspective. Like, Haku. Still scary. That guy would honestly give me fear. I think it's elements to what we see and what we don't see. Do you think Jade Cargill is replacing Belair? No, because Bianca Belair has everything. Jade Cargill just has an entrance. That's all. And we'll come to that, don't worry. And then you managed to do the one thing. That honestly, that promo was hilarious. Even funny he's doing it in a referee type shirt. Oh, Jade Cargill does every form of botch possible. What? Here's the funny thing. See how fast Roxanne Perez moves? Is my big criticism about Liv Morgan. That woman runs slower than my gran. And my gran can't run. She's a couple inches taller than her. But Bianca Belair is far better than Jade Cargill ever will be. I think Jade Cargill is a big waste. She's got nothing. I honestly see nothing in Jade Cargill. Oh yeah. See when she gets released, it's gonna hit like crack. She was being protected with all those squash matches, but people thought that they were doing something. But look at the way they actually presented her. She was still presented strong. Now she's presented like a mock-off Storm. But she doesn't do anything good. She is in trouble. So much for the Performance Center. It's meant to be world-class, but clearly not if Jade Cargill's fucking up, eh? Jade Cargill, honestly, for me, there's nothing to her. Roxanne, I'll say this with Roxanne Perez. This is actually something that's not with her control, but I think Roxanne Perez, she was kept on NXT that long that she could never truly rise to the scale on the main roster. Whereas everywhere else she's been fine. Like her indie run, Ring of Honor, you saw nothing bad out of Roxy. You keep her in NXT for all these years, she's stuck. And now she's on the main roster. They've put her with the one faction that will never get her over. You put her with a Judgment Day, dead on arrival. No, Liv doesn't get less slack. She just shakes her ass and then people are blind to her faults, whereas I'm not. I see her faults from the very first second she enters a ring. And that laugh is so damn fake that guinea pigs would die at their feet. Spinning on the wheel, there goes a guinea pig. Whoa. Oh, and then Liv Morgan talks. Dead. She did improve. You're just not going to give her credit for it. There isn't a Q&A tonight. Once you leave, that's it. There's no Q&A tonight. Except for the people that are still in the chat. Play by my rules. Anyway. I'll concede better on the mic, but wrestling-wise, no. Liv Morgan can't wrestle. The way wrestling is, you should be allowed to buy into your sexuality, but you should be able to do things on a natural sense that doesn't look over the top. So like, it should look natural, but not look damaging, if that makes sense. Like how China worked so perfectly. It does indeed. It does indeed. It always has. Liv is yet to truly improve. I think she's still below average. Her expressions, though, and how she sells her facial expressions are probably better than anybody they have, though. I'll say that. No, Fernando, they won't. They'll keep going. They'll keep going. Anyway, we are 2 hours in and we have not even started, so let's do this. So, Monday Night Raw. I mean, to be fair, Raw was shit, so. Oh, yeah, exactly. That's why Charlotte Flair has not done anything remote. Smooth, I've watched her since NXT and I've yet to see her improve at all. Fully. And that's me being honest. The last time I thought she was remotely cool was the Riot Squad. Rhea Ripley's becoming a problem. Becky Lynch only got over because a Samoan punched her in the face and broke her nose. Like, Becky Lynch without that is nothing. She still would have been that Irish tap dancer that people were falling out of enjoyment with. That is true, though. And that was a horrible gimmick as well. God, that was horrible. Let's see, what's James saying? One conversation I had with someone discussing my struggles to sleep. Someone suggested a sleeping tablet. My response was, it's fine, I'll just watch a Liv Morgan match. That'll do the trick. Oh dear, James. Oh dearie me. Damn. Okay. Monday Night Raw starts with Seth can't evolve Rollins Or in fact, no, I've got a better name. Seth holding an Everstone Rollins talks about a race to the finish, but there is a race to second place because the Money in the Bank is first place. Cashing in at SummerSlam on Goldberg. Anyway, he's talking about current champions. Oh, Bayley, that is correct. I agree with that, Bleach. To be fair, if you can noticeably see it from Becky Lynch at Backlash 2016. Just saying. In that six-pack challenge. Okay, so Rollins holding an Everstone. Of course. But getting the nose broke is what led her to trying to be a B-Tech Ric Flair Rock carbon copy wannabe. To be fair though, Dominic Mysterio is another accident waiting to happen. Talking about current champions, race to the finish line, blah 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 blah. I think we can comfortably say Seth Rollins' promos are shit. And he's not remotely interesting anymore. Like Seth Rollins used to be exciting. His TV and pay-per-view run several years ago used to feel like money. Doesn't now. Yep. Always the same. Terrible. Bayley's finished. And Charlotte's terrible. Charlotte is so terrible. Sorry, Billy. I know you fancy her, but it's still the truth. He certainly seems to manage to get over the line, but the problem is this is not what people want to see from him. This is not what people want to see. They want to see him be that ever reliable workhorse with passion again. I'm not feeling passion. And I'm not saying he has to automatically be a workhorse, but I'm saying like that Architect run for me is his best run, and that was 11 years ago. There's so much we're missing, you know? And I would just like to see it change. But yes, so he asks the fans what do they want. How is Bayley finished? She's got no character. Her ring work is not where it should be. Her promo skills aren't as good as they used to be. That's the reality for me. Charlotte Flair is not the greatest, I'm sorry. Charlotte Flair is lucky that she has that surname. Bayley's not the best in that company, come on. They took her away from what made her special. Like, say, like, I feel like they tried to turn her into something she's not. Now, I'm not basing it on like selling tickets or anything like that. I actually do think Bayley they took away from what she was, and it hurt her. And I think that's the hardest thing. Well, here comes Billy to glaze all over her as well. We're all screwed. He asks the fans what they want. He brings up CM Punk and Roman Reigns. Ugh, great. Lovely. Moving on. Straight transition into the first contest. Braun Breaker versus Pentagon Jr. And it was a foregone conclusion. We knew who was going to win this. Now, we do get the Canadian Destroyer. I'm not calling it the Mexican Destroyer. I'm sticking with the Canadian. That's what I know it as. But Yes, Braun with a tucked-in spear that could have went wrong gets the result. We push on. Update as well regarding this whole Limp Bizkit are going to do a song for Braun Breaker. Well, I can comfortably say from seeing from my own eyes, Fred Durst has endorsed this. I mean, that does work. WWE don't know how to switch shit at all. If they did, they would have been in a better position. Bleach, thank you for subscribing, brother. Hold on, let me just do that. No, Billy, say it right. WWE is horseshit. Tell you what, I actually quite like the name, so you're in. 351 subscribers now. Seriously, you guys are top tier. I really do appreciate it. It was a mid-height spear. Obviously, Penta's in midair, does get caught. It's a good spear. I love new metal. That was like the music, obviously, I grew up with. And I listened to every day. I still listen to that heavy metal, rock and roll, classic rock. But new metal is what got me a lot. In a kind way, it does kind of hold out because Eric Young was hugging everybody before matches, but then again, when he done it with ODB, it was hilarious. But Eric Young, when he was with Robert Roode, like when he was forced to work with him in 2007, that was some fun stuff. I think there's some good chemistry between Penta and Braun Breaker, but they need to let the shackles off them both and just let them work. Stop catering to the fucking hard cam and just let them enjoy themselves. And you might actually see even better stuff. That's just a pick from me. It was mentioned earlier on by. Oh, wait, what was that? Oh, never mind. The Smooth brought it up earlier. I keep groaning, Jesus Christ. As far as I'm aware, the song's going to be based off Build a Bridge. So it's going to see like a variety of Build a Bridge. But I think they should I think they should base his song. Pretty much, I know every Limp Bizkit song, so I need to find what does work. It is acoustic. That's what makes it special. I think for Braun, it makes more sense. Like they were looking to build a bridge, but for me, I would base his song on break stuff. I think break stuff makes more sense for Braun. Braun Breaker will be an even bigger star than Seth Rollins ever was. I'm confident of that. Provided they don't neuter him like a dog. Pardon the pun. They can say all they want that they're trying to keep it safe. Big E lost his career. Zoe Stark makes some horrible decisions. Take a Look Around is a great song choice. Yeah, like a bit more maturer version. That would have been so great. The chorus in particular. I mean, I've got like virtually every Limp Bizkit song right here. If I was to put like say a top five of what you could base it on. Hold on. Skipping through Skillet. There's Drowning Pool, Puddle of Mud. They've got some great songs, to be fair. Alter Bridge, Hollywood Undead. These are all some of my great fans. I love Braun Breaker. He's quality. The Metallica, Disturbed, Paramore, Avenged Sevenfold. My Chemical Romance. Wait for it. There's Limp Bizkit. There we go. Let's see. Killer in You actually might be the one. Deftones are an amazing band. Mudvayne are fun. Alright, if I had to pick, say, 5 songs, if I had to pick 5 songs for if Limp Bizkit were to base a song on for Braun Breaker, I'm basing on My Own Cabane, Killer in You, Break Stuff, Build a Bridge, and another one I don't think you guys may have listened to, but it's actually a very good song. The song's called Pollution. Oh, even I can see it myself. Like Braun's still getting there, but the funny thing is it's not that he's still green. I don't think he is. But what I will say this though is he's not rushing his development, which I do like. There's still another good 3-4 years. Another 3 or 4 years of Braun of full development. But even right now, you can see something. Yeah, take a look around as the Mission Impossible theme, and it's an incredible song. Okay, which is music to my ears because the more Roman disappears, the more I'm happy. Okay, Goldberg's interview, pre-taped. He talks about Bad Blood last year and how that's led to Goldberg coming back. But obviously, since then, Goldberg numerous times has been injured, keeps getting hurt. But he says, and I quote, he is going to beat the fuck out of Gunther at Saturday night's main event. I'm eager to see what they do. I think Goldberg is going to win in no time flat, though. I think he's going to beat him very quickly. But I think the elements to it are not strong. Goldberg's last match against Braun Breaker wouldn't be a bad idea. I think it'll be Cena, though. But I wouldn't mind that. Goldberg can get speared out of the building. I'd be okay with that. I think he's got more eyes on revenge than the World Championship, but you can see that he wants it. Cross's promo was not too bad. It's just annoying that, again, it's too damn short. Now, backstage, Finn Balor is trying to rally the troops over the injury loss of Liv Morgan. Cool, moving on. Cody Rhodes just looks like he had a shit. Like he was lobbying a shit the whole match. The Queen's King of the Ring, the Queen of the Ring semi-finals are up next. Would you use the song "The Devil and I" by Slipknot? No, I would use Snuff. All Hope Is Gone though is a great album to go from, so it's interesting choices. I think Snuff would just be the perfect choice for anything. The Queen of the Ring semi-final is about to determine who our finalist is going to be. Will it be all red botching. That's true. All red botching with her silver hair Jade Cargill, or 5 feet and tiny Roxanne Perez. Well, I mean, a lick and a choke slam is already enough. I fucking would. After several other songs, of course. Jey Uso, soft righteous heart lost in that match. He could have finished Khalil. The fact that he was even given the spot in the first place is embarrassing. It should never have went to him. Devil and I is quality, but snuff makes the match or makes the moment. So Jade Cargill clearly wants to get a snog. She does lick Roxanne Perez in the face and hits a choke slam, a very weak choke slam, I might add. I've seen better one-handed choke slams from women, and that was horrible. To be fair, Batista had everything. Jade has muscles. That's it. I personally did not like this match. The only good thing about it was for snuff. Oh, Devil and I. Ooh. Carrying Cross. End of the match, obviously, you get Jade Cargill confronted by a proper star in Asuka. There's your Queen of the Ring. She's already been trained by Bryan Danielson and she's never progressed. You can't train the untrainable. Jade Cargill is a waste. Send her packing. Send her to Hollywood where she belongs. Yeah, well, Jade Cargill will never be a star. Self Revolution is a great song. That's a great song. Yo, what's up, Rach? How you doing, sister? The Judgment Day can burn in hell for all I care. But for me, Jade Cargill, there's only one way to lose. And I think she will lose on this weekend. Well, give her the Keanu Reeves role. Very little words, lots of action. I'm good. I'm good. Well, a lot better now. I wasn't feeling great over the weekend, but I'm good. And I'm glad to see you're doing good as well. We need to catch up sometime, see if we can get you back on here soon. So you can tear shit up. I mean, after all, you do it spinning guitars. She's got a connection to Joe Hendry, that's all I'm going to say, alright? She likes him. No idea why. Just kidding. I want to hear it all. Say what you got to say. The funny thing is, she was already doing that. She was already doing this whilst being trained and failed. Oh God, no, no. Rach, don't say it. You're pure evil. Sorry though, I'll let you off once in a while. That's what makes it work. Jade just for me isn't wrestling. When I see her, I think Hollywood villain. I don't think pro wrestler. I just don't. Following the Goldberg sit-down promo, the world champion, or the mid-card champion as Zodiac loves to call it, and Stussy, Gunther hits the ring, talks about Goldberg's words, and then proceeds to call him a one-trick pony, says he cannot hang with the best around. Okay, sealing your own damn fate. And at Saturday night's main event, he's going to officially end him. Well, sir, you are failed. She ain't getting there though, and she doesn't have the potential. Brock Lesnar was a star before he even touched WWE. Now Lashley, on the other hand, I agree. Brock was already there. Jade Cargill, no. Jade Cargill, you're better off cutting ties. Simple. You're better off cutting ties with her. She's not that good. No, she's not. I've had sleeping patterns more over than her. Put it that way. Yeah, well, sometimes you got to make risks, and that's one. And she ain't it. She ain't it. I would rather put all my time and investment into Liv Morgan than Jade Cargill, and that is saying something for me. They put more time and investment in Naomi than Jade Cargill. Take a look at that. Naomi, to be honest, is going to beat Jade Cargill anyway. That's where it all stems from. They're going to keep going to that over and over again. And they'll beat it up and not realize what they've done. Danger. Dangerous level we're playing. Karrion Kross. Backstage sitting with the uber politician Samuel Zayn, where he does rub it in that he failed to win the semi-final. He's not going to Night of Champions to compete for the King of the Ring. And he's not world title material, which is absolutely funny. Sami Zayn, of course, gets highly offended, probably because there's so much ginger in his beard that his soul is being sucked away. And with that, he hits him in the face and says that the match for Night of Champions is official. And of course, Scarlett Bordeaux and Karrion Kross get the last laughs, which is absolutely brilliant. Sami Zayn hasn't been good for so long. This is why I don't take him seriously. Bianca Belair sucks at storytelling and promos. I don't think she sucks at promos. The storytelling maybe, but promos? I don't think so. I think she's actually a decent promo. I think she's a decent promo. I think Jade Cargill is too emotive, but it's like in a way that it doesn't translate to what she's saying, and that's her problem. And she doesn't understand that. I think that's what's going to hold. That's what will keep holding her back. Naomi is a great actor, but Bianca's so much better on the mic than Naomi. But Naomi needs to be wary of things. The difference is Bianca Belair can stand out. Bianca Belair's problem is, I've said it for years, her gimmick is a heel gimmick. EST is not a babyface thing, and I've said that since day one of NXT. It'll never be a babyface gimmick. Hmm. I agree with that. The thing is Bianca Belair will know that Jade Cargill's there to replace her. I mean, but the funny thing is Jade won't replace her. Jade Cargill simply can't replace Bianca Belair because Bianca Belair gives you everything and you still want more. With Jade Cargill, you don't get that feeling. Now, she might have the body and the look. You literally ring that bell and you want it to be over and done with quickly. Mundo, Mundo. How are you? Product remains ass. Tragic. You're not wrong, sir. How are you doing? I think Rhea Ripley is good. The problem is Rhea Ripley's being booked like a Terminator right now. Like in that way that everything has to just be a win for her. I like Rhea Ripley, but I do see some faults which annoy me, and the fault is she's being booked like she can't do anything but win. Sorry, anything but lose, sorry, and it's a problem. Bianca and Rhea are they're the same in terms of they win, but it doesn't matter. Just because you're taller doesn't mean you're better. Bianca Belair runs circles round like she runs circles around Jade Cargill. Bianca Belair could break both legs and both arms and she's still better than Jade Cargill. Rhea's good on the mic. But I think what you've got to realise is like she became so obsessed with what she is now that maybe you can't see anything else from her. But she does have good promo skills. I wouldn't say they're great though. Like I don't think she's great on the mic. I think she's actually good. She became the whole goth look because she didn't want to be another blonde, which is actually adequate. No, I that's the reality I see with her. I think she's a good promo. I just think the reality of it is she didn't want to be some other blonde. And quite frankly, I wouldn't want to be either. I don't want to be boring. Blondes are boring. Thank God Chelsea Green isn't a blonde. She said it herself. There's two sides to her personality. You've got the shy, quiet side that doesn't dress all in black, and then you've got that vibrant, darker side who is goth. That's what she said. She said that herself. Tatum Paxley, who? Ren Sinclair, meh. Jordan Grace just destroys them all, but there's not much. No, if Chelsea was blonde, she would be stuck even more stuck behind Tiffany Stratton, who is talentless. See you later, mate. Thanks for tuning in as always. You are a top legend. And yeah, I'll say it again. Tiffany Stratton, talentless. Okay. So Women's Intercontinental Championship, purple hair versus red hair. A hugger of abandonment versus a red-haired Hogan. and it ends in a DQ. I mean, who thought that was going to happen? I did, because I called it last week. The funny thing is, anybody who doesn't believe Chelsea Green can't kick ass has never seen her ruin Penta. Oh wait, I have. Bird Lady, yeah. Someone needs to shoot her wings. Clay pigeon style. Boom. Oh, shot the wings. There we go. Oh yeah, 100%. What they're gonna do is this. This is gonna hurt my brain, but it needs to be done. Oh, I can't believe I'm actually typing this. Becky Lynch honestly ruins this division for me. But then again, there's worse. Oh, she's talentless. She's only well liked because of, well, this is what I think of their triple threat. They are going to find a way to try and replicate this, and it's going to fall flat on their face. I said it last week, this was definitely going to be the plan. They are doing this. Bird Lady's Lyra Valkyria. 100%, this is what they're replicating. Except Becky is in the role of the cocky champion Carmella. Lyra Valkyria is in the, I would say she's in the Becky role, so you know what she's going to get. And then, well, Bayley's just going to pretend she's Charlotte for a night and probably steal the win. And then Lyra will turn heel on her. Too bad Becky's not had self-respect in years. Otherwise, she would have left a long time ago. Yeah, I mean, that might be cool, but then I'd have to go over the fact that you've reminded us of that way. That's not the point I'm making, Fernando. No one cares about Carmel. I'm just telling you, this is what they're replicating. Yeah, only one person looked great in that entire feud, and it's the person you've named. Trish Stratus looked like $1 million in that feud. Bayley looked like a $1 bill if you're American, or for me, it's a £1 coin. I think the problem is if the minute you try a replicator like Sting, it's game over. But then you could have done something different. Oh yeah, it was so weird. No idea. It does stem from it, but they wouldn't pull it off properly. I don't think she needs to be up in the rafters though. But you could use other things. No one's saying that she is or isn't better than Carmella. I'm just telling you that's the way they're gonna play it. And I'll be right. Oh yeah, I knew that. It wasn't '05, it was '06. WrestleMania 22. But he chose to stay with TNA. And in a way, did he make the right choice or did he make the wrong choice? I kind of think he made the right one. They would have turned him into an absolute joke. But then again, he should have left maybe in '08. I think he should have stayed in TNA until '08. Yep, that's true. I don't think he did. I think he stayed too long, but I don't think he made a mistake. You look at the years he had, they started ruining him in late '09. Now, to answer this question, simple. The answer for me, neither. Yeah, I know he did, but he wasn't stale in '05. Like, for me, like, a best between, like, if you're just using '05 as a factor, '05 to '08, he was, like, in terms of enjoyment, he was up there with the crowd. But it was like going into '09, etc., where the minute they put him with Dr. Stevie is when it was over. Like, he should have been gone before that happened. Like, he should have left before that point. Like, look at the feuds and the work he had. There's some there that were really poor, like the stuff with Black Rain and Relic, horrible. But the stuff with AJ, Kurt, Matt Morgan, Sting, the feud he had with James Mitchell and Judas Messias, like, they were all good stuff. The Sabu feud, Jeff Hardy, Rhino, Raven, like, they were all fun stuff. But after that is when he died. So I think he should have left in, like, end of '08. I would have said end of 2008 is when he should have went to WWE. But they fucked up. Yeah, I don't get that at all. Like, this I don't understand. But yeah, so Lyra does get involved, cost Bailey the match. We've got the triple threat confirmed. We're moving on. I'm sure Billy Gunn is you in disguise. A war between Chuck Palumbo's Mexican quartet, Raquel Rodriguez and Rhea Ripley happens here. Then we got a match for Night of Champions. Cool. And then, well, main event is the main event, obviously. Cody Rhodes with multiple Cody Cutters, super kick fests, so many spears. God almighty. We see where this is going. It's mentor versus former stablemate in the final. But we're going to see it anyway, so, well, you guys are going to see it, I'm not. But this weekend, after winning the Raw main event, we will see Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton for the King of the Ring. The winner will face their respective world champion at SummerSlam, which is cool. I just use a blade. I'm only kidding. I don't. It's too bad Abyss retired before seeing him at a Mania. Yeah, it is a shame, but it's okay. We still got to see some good stuff. It's a shame we could have got something special if we had. Now, since the guy left, me on the other hand, that's how you review Raw. Still get fun. He said we're gonna do. I'm gonna come back for a Q&A. The whole opening 2 hours was a Q&A basically, and then we've just reviewed Raw in 40 odd minutes and had fun. Ish. Still getting to talk about it, but then realizing what's better with or without it. Randy's turning on Cody. I think it's the other way around. I think Cody's turning heel this weekend. And if it's not this weekend, it will 100% be SummerSlam. And it's his own words. Cody's literally accepting it. Like, he's turning heel. And it's going to happen. He is going to be a heel champion. And I'll even mock Jey Uso with his little shitty promo to say it how it goes. One word, 10 letters. Oh yeah, as much as Randy Orton should, it would be a good thing to see, but they're going to give it to Cody. Cody is becoming an unenjoyable favorite. Like that, he just wins and wins, and when he gets a little bit of a defeat, it doesn't last long. But hey, it's always about, oh, we got to do more redemption. You are not defending this weekend, remember, because I'm not taking part in this pathetic show. So you will defend. You've got the trio, remember. You've got Evolution 2, All In, and you've got Saturday Night's main event. And then after that, Slammiversary, which is a week later. So you've got a couple of weeks. I think Abyss was respected a lot. It's just the problem is time-wise, we've already got to see what we do. But it was more later because fans just went back and watched more. But when you were watching it live, you could enjoy Abyss. But I do get your point about Copycat in a way, but like some of him was unique too. I just hate that they put him with that clown Hogan and turned him into that weakling. That was horrible. Exactly. Good question. That's where we're at. That's what we're stuck with. Like, I can't take it seriously. I just can't. But hey yo. Or should I say, hey yo. Did we get Abyss versus Mick and TNA? Yeah. Bound for Glory 2009. He is not Super Cena, but he is literally a Homelander. When he turns heel, you're going to see it. He might even dye his hair back to black. I seen an argument the other day, and people are going to have a split opinion, but I seen an argument the other day where people are saying that his promos in AEW and his work just felt more than his WWE run, his current WWE run. because they felt like, where's all that energy gone? Like, where's that passion? They feel like what they've got now isn't the same. I'm not entirely bothered about the debate. I can see arguments for both sides, but I couldn't care less about Cody after Full Gear 2019. After Full Gear 2019, I did not care what he did because he clowned, he clowned people, and it pissed me off. I've still not bothered with him since then. Fernando, he's going to turn heel. Trust me, he's going to turn heel. Who do you think Cena's going to lose to as a babyface? This Cody doesn't even come close to Double or Nothing 2019. Which is probably my favourite Cody Rhodes match. But yeah, Cody's going to turn heel. You may not want it. You may not like it. He's going to turn heel though. Cena will turn babyface after SummerSlam. He will not end this stupid run as a heel. Although, quite frankly, I don't really care. I don't want to enjoy that again anyway. His run has been horrible. I think Cena's going to turn babyface after SummerSlam. Although I don't even know what they're going to do for nights 1 and nights 2. I don't even think they know how they're even going to get to that. I'm not looking forward to 2 nights of SummerSlam. That Cena versus Orton match didn't hit at all. That was a horrible finisher fest. Exactly. American Nightmare isn't a good thing. What about Roman? He's done. Roman could still wrestle Cody as the babyface, Cody is the heel. But I don't think it really matters. Like, the fans are still going to sing his song because the fans are stupid. The only thing he might do a little bit more is maybe a little more heel tactics. Hopefully, it means we don't see his bloody mother show up again. But I don't know. But I do honestly think very, very soon he is going to turn heel. Who knows? Maybe you get babyface Punk versus heel Cody Rhodes. Something's got to happen. But that's what I see. Doesn't bother me, but that's what I see coming very, very soon. And speaking of that, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to dip. Yep, and I'm annoyed by that. But that's for a different day. But ladies and gentlemen, I am going to dip out here. Thank you for tuning in. You've all been a blast. Oh, easily. You could twist him. No problem. Thank you to our couple of new subs as well. We're now at 351. Thank you so much. I am going to disappear into the night and enjoy some TV. But I shall see you all in the next one. Hello, Nippon. Thanks for tuning in. We're just about to leave. But I will see you all tomorrow, guys. You're welcome, Bleach. Thank you for joining us as well. Tomorrow, yeah, another gaming stream tomorrow. Or actually, no, you know, we haven't done a while. We haven't done one of those sit-down streams. So I think tomorrow we will do a sit-down stream and we'll just talk. Anything, questions, whatever the heck you want tomorrow. That's what we'll do. 7 p.m. UK time tomorrow. I will see you then. Arrivederci, my friends, and I'll see you tomorrow.